There was a major order that came out of the top court of the land today. Supreme Court has now said that it is mandatory for all cinema halls to play the national anthem before a movie is played out. And what's significant, they also say that all the exits should be locked while the national anthem is playing, because they say it's time for committed patriotism. It's an order which has got views and everybody talking about it. Most politicians have welcomed it, but others are not so sure. Many are asking, do we really need to do this to prove our patriotism? We'll be speaking to our special panel that includes Professor Kamal Mitra Chinoy from JNU, Neelam Krishnamurthy, who has been campaigning for public safety. We'll also be joined by the BJP Shaina NC from Mumbai and Senior Advocate Kamini Jaiswal. First, let's just hear how the politicians have welcomed it.
में तो ये लिखा हुआ नहीं है कि ऑफिशियल फंक्शन होगा तो सबको खड़ा होना पड़ेगा, और अगर मुझे कोई रोकता है नेशनल एंथम गाने से तो उस पर क्रिमिनल केस बुक होगा, 3 साल सजा होगी। एमएचए के जो गाइडलाइन उसमें जिक्र नहीं है। पेट्रियोटिज्म और नेशनलिज्म में जमीन आसमान का फर्क है। आज के मौजूदा सियासी माहौल में ये जो मोदी सरकार है, अगर कोई इन पर तनकीद करता है, क्रिटिसाइज करता है, तो ये फौरन उसका एंटी नेशनल करार दे देते। तो ये हमारी डेमोक्रेसी के लिए ठीक नहीं है।
I welcome it. It's progressive. I salute and congratulate the highest court in the country, Supreme Court, for coming out with such bold, right direction and right judgment with the right direction. We were failing in our duty. It is indeed our duty to respect our constitution, to respect our India, to respect our tricolor.
So Shatrughan Sinha welcoming it, while Asaduddin Owaisi raising some doubts about whether it's good for everyone or not. What happens if there is misuse? I just want to, before I go to our guest, I just want to read out some of the lines that the bench headed by Justice Deepak Mishra, their order. It says the practice would instill a feeling within one, a sense of committed patriotism and nationalism. So first I want to go across to Senior Advocate Kamini Jaiswal. Ma'am, what does the court really mean by this, and as a lawyer, do you think it's open to misuse?
See, it's not a question of being open to misuse. Now, if you are going to play the national anthem in a picture hall before the movie starts, now people will be walking in, walking out. You don't expect because people arrive late. So they will be just coming in and going out, and some people will make it a point not to be there and to walk in at a particular time. No, it is not fair. I mean, it's not fair. We don't have to carry our patriotism on our sleeve. We all respect our constitution, we respect the national flag, and we respect the national anthem, and patriotism is there in all of us, but I don't think we need to carry patriotism in our sleeve, and we don't need to prove that we are patriotic to anybody. But the question is, by this order, it's not a question of being likely to be misused. The question is that, inadvertently disrespect could be caused. Somebody may be walking in, somebody may have some reason to walk out, or somebody comes late. So it is, inadvertently people will be so it is, we are creating a situation where disrespect could be caused, and some malicious or some, person may just take a, photo on the video camera or a telephone and say, look here, see so and so, he's like this and he is belongs to this community and he's like that and he was causing disgrace. It will be unnecessary harassment by some vicious and some fanatics who might likely, and there may be some fanatics who might deliberately want to not get up or not this thing. So why do you create a situation where it will create this kind of incite so much of violence or maybe incite unnecessary litigation?
Okay, that's interesting. And Professor Chinoy, were you in Delhi because this kind of order, this kind of provision is already there in states like Maharashtra. Places like Delhi used to have it a couple of decades ago. Do you remember it from that time?
Yes, I remember it, and also at that time there used to be a films division news which was given, so before TV. But I'd like to raise 2 points. My major point is that you cannot commit to patriotism just on the basis of the national anthem. And in fact, even the fundamental duties A, from which the Honorable Court has taken it, starts by saying to abide by the Constitution and respect its ideals and institutions. Now the Honorable Supreme Court knows that the directive principles of state policy, though not justiciable, are supposed to inform the life of the nation and help in patriotism. And the last point I'd like to make is the fundamental duties are quite a few, but listen to this, which I think is much more important. To promote harmony and the spirit of common brotherhood amongst all the people of India, transcending religious, linguistic and regional or sectional diversities, to renounce practices derogatory to the dignity of women. This is really the core of patriotism, not standing up, and many people will not be standing, they'll be coming in before the flag. That is, I'm afraid, for a lot of people would be tokenism.
Just this act of
just
doing
this
it.
act that, okay, I've stood up for the national anthem and I can forget the rest of the Constitution.
Well, what's interesting is the Supreme Court actually feels, and they say it as well, that it's time people, they say in the judgment, it's time people express their love for their motherland, and they feel that this act will do it. And they're very, very convinced about it. Just before I ask first Neelam Krishnamurthy and Shaina NC, because the BJP government has in fact supported it. In the Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi has told the court there's an interim order that's come out, but they completely support the petitioner who wanted these guidelines to be put out for enforcing respect for the national anthem. But what's interesting is the young people behind me, our audience, they seem totally divided. So I just wanted to give you a mix of the reactions coming in. All of you support this side, all of you support the, so would anyone like to say why you support? Yeah, go ahead. Tell me, why do you support it? Anyone want to talk about why they support it? Yeah.
Because if we see that most of the people, if we go through a survey, most of the Indians are not knowing their national anthem. They don't know. Maybe they misspell, or maybe they are not able to sing the song like completely. So it's a good thing. It's a tribute kind of thing.
So the Supreme Court order will instill that kind of thing. Who disagrees? Yeah. Why do you disagree?
I disagree because why do I need to be proving my patriotism or my nationalism when I go to watch a movie which is actually a place where I've gone to relax or to have an entertainment. And moreover, as has been rightly pointed out, that during the course where they intend to play the national anthem, it is at that point in time where people are actually coming in, and there are n number of instances where people are actually late for the movie. So how do you account for that? And moreover, how do you even account for the people who are sitting in the movie theater and yet not standing up? Who's going to take care of that?
Yeah, these are important points to raise. Shaina NC, do you want to respond to the fact that how would you respond, because the government has taken this point of view of the petitioner in supporting this move of enforcing the national anthem before the movies? The young student, the questions that he asked, how would you answer them?
Sunetra, first and foremost, let me please say that I take absolute offense to your title saying popcorn patriotism. Now, this is not about an opinion, this is about a sense of patriotism where every single individual has it inculcated within them to respect and to honor the national anthem. Now, as far as this petition is concerned, there has been an individual petitioner that has gone to the highest court of this country and said that we must be able to inculcate a sense of patriotism, be it youngsters or any segment and section of society that goes out, whether it's entertainment or not is really not the question. I think even if you go to watch an IPL match or a cricket match, and if they play the national anthem, with pride we would stand. So I think it's a time that people have expressed their love for their motherland, have shown their respect for the national anthem, and this petitioner who has come up with this suggestion to the honourable courts, the courts have said that yes, they agree that it's time to respect the national anthem and they see no harm. So I don't understand what we're debating. Debating over what you should be doing or should not be doing is one aspect. But if you're going for a movie and if it takes 30 seconds to stand and show a uniform code of patriotism towards the national anthem, be it a theatre or a sports stadium or any place, I think we should welcome this and don't
just
please
to put
get
it into
into
perspective,
the
Shaina, and see what we're
doors being
debating
shut. Of
is
course, doors will be shut.
the feeling that a lot of people have that do we need the Supreme Court to tell us whether we are patriots or not by a particular act that we do when we go for movies. That's all that we're debating over here. And Neelam Krishnamurthy has a very important point about contradiction.
Are you questioning the honourable courts?
No, we are just talking about the feelings that it generates.
Are you questioning the honourable courts? If there is a petition which has been filed by a citizen like you and me, who has an extreme emotion and has expressed it, and the honourable courts feel that there is no harm, and yes, it sends out a signal of patriotism, we should all be welcoming it unanimously and not playing popcorn patriotism as a title.
Okay, fine. I understand you've registered your protest about the phrase popcorn patriotism. Just take into account what Neelam Krishnamurthy has to say. Yes, go ahead.
See, I read the SC judgment with utmost respect to the Supreme Court. I'll just read a few lines. It says, prior to the national anthem, the entry and exit door shall remain closed so that no one can create any kind of disturbance.
Yeah.
Now, this is absolutely contrary. Why I'm speaking about this is because the precious 59 lives were lost in Bhopal because the doors were closed. In case of a fire, what are you going to do? Because this is contrary to the law, to the rules. What do the rules say? The specific rules, that is Delhi cinematographic rules, which says all exit doors and doors through which the public have to pass on way to the open air shall be available for exit during the whole time, and the public in the building and during such time shall not be locked or bolted.
That's a really important point, because we saw what happened in Bhopal because of this. But they might say, Neelam Krishnamurthy, it's just a question of less than a minute.
Well, I think the fire doesn't ask if there's a national anthem being played, so should there be a fire or no. The fire can take place within a few seconds.
Okay, so
and no, the very important point I need to make, in case if they have given such directions, have they specified, if they say, okay, we're not going to say that the door should be bolted or locked, because one thing, it can be misused by the cinema hall owners. They'll just close the gate to find it convenient, because all the doors in that case should be manned. And in case the guard who's standing there, he forgets to open the latch, then what happens? Suppose there's a fire, I'm sorry, there'll be thousands of lives which will be lost. Can we afford to pay such a heavy price just for playing a national anthem?